So I just want to, first of all, I want to say welcome to everybody on this Transformation Tuesday, which is Nursing Home Resident Voices, Wishlist for 2023. Honestly, we're really thrilled to be able to do this particular event because it represents the people who we've been advocating for, the residents themselves. They don't always have the opportunity to express their voices to the powers that be and have the opportunity to make change. This is a perfect way for us, meaning Gray Panthers, and for more importantly for you to have an impact on how others better understand what the issues are for nursing home residents and what are the opportunities for change. As many of you know, we've been doing our initiative Honoring Nursing Home Lives has been going on for almost 2 years now. And our first effort was we did a documentary honoring Nursing Home Lives Lost, which was looking at COVID, the waves of death and grief, of which this documentary we won a film festival award. Then to keep that momentum going, we started this Transformation Tuesday series from our vice president, the brainchild of our vice president, Michelle Arnaud, who is also on the call right now. And in a short period of time, we've garnered the attention of many entities, and we've given a voice to advocates, to residents, to academics. We look at not necessarily the normal things that are involved in nursing home reform and transformation, but opportunities like this. So we are really thrilled, and much of the accolade has to go to Michelle for having been so thoughtful and keeping things moving in a beautiful way. I wanted to make sure that everybody who will be speaking understands that they get 4 minutes. And then because we have so many people that are going to be speaking, have to be kept at that time. And for each person, please tell us who you are, where you are, why you're in a skilled nursing facility, what your concerns are, and what solutions are there. We're recording this because we're going to be putting this on our website. For everyone, please put any questions you have in the chat. And we want to hear, we want as many people as possible to give some sort of a call to action. And we're just thrilled that we have the opportunity to present to you. Another thing that I wanted to tell you about quickly is, as I was saying, what we've been doing over the past year, we've also had the opportunity to, we're a founding member of the Live Oak Coalition, which is dedicated to transforming nursing home and long-term care. We've been working with elected officials. We also have our annual highlights kind of newsletter, which we'll be sending out. We've already sent out, and we'd like to send it out again. We do a lot of work through our accreditation at the United Nations. And in January, we're going to be doing another Transformation Tuesday, which is called Solutions to Ageism in Nursing Homes. So that's a lot of what we've been doing. We are very small, and we have a lot of, it's almost all volunteer, and we've done a lot with very little. And we are thrilled that you're all here with us today. We're really honored that our first speaker is the Honorable Crystal Hudson. She's the council member in New York City. She's the chair of the New York City Committee on Aging, and she is going to be giving us recorded remarks on the topics that we're talking about. Would you be she's our first speaker. Would you be so kind, Emily, to start that video?
Good morning, everyone. I'd first like to thank Jack and the whole Gray Panthers team for inviting me to speak with you today. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you in person, but I'm honored to be able to provide some recorded remarks for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Crystal Hudson. I'm the council member in Brooklyn's 35th district, representing the neighborhoods of Crown Heights, Prospect Heights, Fort Greene, Clinton Hill, and a little bit of Bed-Stuy. I got into public service because of my mother. When she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, I quickly and unexpectedly became her caregiver. My mother spent over 40 years working as a nurse in New York City, and when it came time for her to receive care, it felt like there was none. I entered into public service because I was determined to ensure that no one would have to experience what my family did when my mother got sick. I knew that we needed new leadership who made it a priority to make government more accessible for more people, especially older adults. And the day I took office, I hit the ground running to turn that goal into reality. At the beginning of my term, I was appointed as chair of the Committee on Aging. In this capacity, I have the honor of being the top advocate for older adults in New York City. My role has shown me how difficult it can be to raise awareness for issues facing older adults. Too many elected officials overlook the needs of older adults. When it comes time to vote, older adults are the first ones at the polls when they open. A recent ARP survey found that voters ages 50 years and older accounted for nearly 2/3 of all New York City voters in the June 2022 primary. And in the Bronx and Staten Island, they made up 80% of the electorate. Yet though they're there for us when we need their votes, many elected officials fail to stand up for older New Yorkers when they need us the most. What is always most concerning about discussions on aging is that our city is woefully behind in preparing for the rising influx of older adults in our city. And this has happened under the leadership of older adults. If you can believe it, our last 7 mayors, from Abraham Beam to Eric Adams, were all elected at age 50 or older. Our city's older adult population, which currently represents 20% of our city's entire population, will only grow as the baby boomer generation ages. A 2021 CUNY Graduate Center study reports that the population of adults ages 65 and older in New York will soar 25% between 2021 and 2040, compared to just 3% growth in the general population. And according to the New York Academy of Medicine, 2 neighborhoods in my district are expected to see the 3rd and 4th greatest increases in Brooklyn in older adults from 2010 to 2030, and that's Prospect Heights and Fort Greene, respectively. Simply put, we should have prepared for an aging New York decades ago. We've failed time and again, but it's not too late to turn the tide and make New York City a place where every older adult can age in place with dignity. Since I've joined the City Council, I've done everything I can to turn the tide and make our city more age-friendly. In just 1 year, I've introduced 30 bills, 4 of which have passed the council. The very first piece of legislation I introduced in the City Council was a resolution calling upon the state legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Fair Pay for Home Care Act, which would require home care workers to be paid a minimum of 150% of the regional minimum wage. It would help raise tens of thousands of home care workers out of poverty and chip away at the persistent gender wage gap by raising the incomes of hundreds of thousands of women. That resolution ultimately passed the council unanimously, including with the support of the entire Republican caucus. And though Governor Hochul did not include it in last year's budget, I look forward to working with the Gray Panthers and other advocates to get it passed next year. And recently, I introduced the Age in Place NYC package, which is a legislative package comprising 10 bills that tackle everything from keeping older adults in their homes to building more universally accessible housing to expanding telemedicine and digital literacy programs for older adults. When I was campaigning for office, I told folks that I'd view my tenure in the council as a success if I could do one thing, and that's making older adults sexy again. All the legislation I've introduced is proof that we're going to do just that, but my work is not over. And now, more than ever, I need your help. As folks who live in congregate settings like nursing homes, it's crucial to have your voice in shaping policy. You face unique circumstances that many elected officials and folks establishing policy may not know about. We need to hear from you about your needs and concerns so we can address them. Though New York City has limited jurisdiction over nursing homes, we can still partner with our colleagues at the state level to address any issues. Recently, New York began talking about concerns over nursing homes after then Governor Cuomo covered up the deaths of more than 4,100 nursing home residents. But the conversation focused more on the governor's improprieties, coupled with his sexual harassment allegations, rather than centering on the issues facing nursing homes that led to these deaths to begin with. But those who follow this issue know all too well the horror stories of residents left for hours in their own waste and without food, or nursing homes who failed to enact and enforce quarantine and isolation protocols during the pandemic. If anything, recent events have shown how we need to increase oversight of nursing homes in New York City and across the state to ensure our city faces no further waves of deaths for older New Yorkers. That means more regular inspections, increased standards, more state funding, and greater opportunities for resident input. Ultimately, we must ensure that our nursing homes are truly homes for those living in them. I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to make brief remarks. If you'd like to discuss anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to my office by emailing us at district35@council.nyc.gov, or you can give us a call at 718-260-9191. Thank you all so much for your time, and I wish you a very happy new year. Good morning, everyone.
Councilmember Hudson, just want to thank you so much for those kind of inspiring remarks. And it just kind of reminds us why we're here. We are here to hear the voices. We are here to hear the concerns. We are here to be able to have the opportunity to have the voice translate into change. God bless all of you. And I want our next speaker, we're grateful that we're going to be able to work with elected officials around the country and particularly in New York. Our next participant is Rachel Bennett. Rachel Bennett is a woman of many talents. She has her theater company. She does yoga. It has her own personal story, her own personal relationship to nursing homes is through families. And another important component is that she has started what the Nursing Home Card Project and the Nursing Home Voices, where people come into nursing homes in New York City to sing. They also put together cards that are mailed to nursing home residents. And as a result of all of this, she's understood that her purpose is to help all of us, including and work with Grey Panthers towards transformation of nursing homes for all. And just so you know, everybody here, the issue of nursing homes is not an issue of older people. It's an issue of everyone. And everybody has some relationship to it. One of the things that we've learned as we've been going through is that the situation of nursing homes is reflective of all of the isms. Racism, sexism, homophobia, income inequality, and so much more. It all kind of coalesces in nursing homes. And this is what we have the opportunity to work to combat. So Rachel, are you here? Are you on, ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay, God bless. Let's hear what you got to say because we know it's going to be good.
Thank you, Jack, for that beautiful welcome. And as Jack said, my name is Rachel Bennett, and I am so honored to share space and time with you all today. The word dignity comes from the Latin word digmus, which means worth or value. As I consider the title of today's Transformational Tuesday topic, quote, nursing home resident voices, a wish list for 2023, end quote, I think of the word dignity. After advocating for my late mother, Shauna, who suffered early onset Alzheimer's in nursing homes for over 6 years, and being an advocate for nursing home residents today, going into nursing homes to visit residents, I can tell you that the greatest wish on their list, and I hope I am right because I'm a little nervous being here with all of you today, so, is dignity.
Yeah.
Nursing home residents wish to be seen, respected, and honored. But here is something about dignity. You cannot feel dignity if you are hungry, thirsty, or lying in your own feces and urine. And sadly, this is all too often the case. The reason for this is an understaffing issue in nursing homes that is horrific and causing great harm to residents. Basic care needs such as thirst, hunger, showering, and toileting cannot be met because there are not enough CNAs on each floor to help individual residents. The Federal Department of Labor says that since the pandemic, we have lost 240,000 CNAs. This sad reality is often because private equity firms are buying nursing homes so they can make a profit at the expense of our most vulnerable population. There was a law passed called the Nursing Home Reform Act of 1987. Ostensibly, its intention is to set federal quality standards for nursing homes who are required to meet these standards if they receive Medicare or Medicaid. The problem with this is the barometer by which the standards are measured are vague.
Yeah.
Richard Mollett, the executive director of the Long-Term Care Community Coalition, says, quote, nursing home residents depend upon a nursing home for all their care, all their quality of life services. And we actually have really strong laws and standards to protect nursing home residents. But these standards can only make a difference if they are enforced. I run something called the Nursing Home Card Project, which aims to bring love and life and visibility to nursing home residents through cards. So far, thousands of cards have been sent to nursing home residents from all over the world. And now I bring music into nursing homes. Nursing home residents want to feel like they can speak up and be heard and not ignored. They want to feel they can ask for what they need and have their needs met well and efficiently. They want agency over their medications. They wish to be celebrated and uplifted. Why, for example, can't every single nursing home resident have an Alexa in their room? And they can say, Alexa, play the classical music. Alexa, what's the weather today? And if we're talking about wishes, why can't every nursing home resident enjoy the basic right of their own room? This is not only more private, dignified, and comfortable, but on a practical and obvious level, prevents the spread of viruses and infections. In October, the head of the Grey Panthers of New York City, our very own Jack Kupferman, kindly recommended me to be a participant in a panel to speak to Congress, to Representative Clyburn on grassroots activism in nursing homes. Ultimately, they chose a nursing home resident to speak on my behalf, but my testimony lives on the public Congress repository. And here is part of what I said. We want the passage of a minimum staffing law so that nursing homes are properly staffed and the rights guaranteed within the Resident Bill of Rights in the Nursing Home Reform Act are assuredly being met to protect and care for our vulnerable brothers and sisters. We need you to hold nursing home operators accountable. Right now, nursing homes have limited oversight or accountability for how Medicare, Medicaid, CMS funds are spent. They're extracting as much profit as they can at the expense of the residents. Our nursing home residents are not a commodity. We need to ensure that there is more transparency in how funds are spent to improve the lives of nursing home residents so that they may live with dignity. But that is not all. We need more than basic care needs, for man cannot live on bread alone. We need to enforce government funds are allocated to activities and recreation programs in every nursing home in this country, providing residents with sensory engagement, music, art, and pet therapy. How, dear congressmen and women, will you regulate this on a federal level. In the Nursing Home Resident Bill of Rights that should be hanging in every nursing home in this country, the first line says, and I quote, "Nursing home residents have the right to dignity, respect, and a comfortable living environment," end quote. One of the most heartbreaking stories I read was in the New Yorker in an article called "When Private Equity Takes Over a Nursing Home," written by Yasmin Raphael. He recounted a 94-year-old female resident whose oxygen tube slipped out, and it took an hour and a half and a call to 911 to get it plugged back in. In the same article, there is a story of a 50-year-old something male who had a stroke and could only talk to his mother through his laptop. He would ring his call bell for over an hour just to get a CNA to come into his room and move it so he could reach it. I have a plethora of action steps on my website. My website is called Caring, C-A-R-I-N-G, by card.com. Please go to my website and go to the page called Stand Up for Nursing Home Residents. You will find about how to become an ombudsman, how to reach out to your senator, how to reach out to your assemblyman or woman. And please do one action step a day on my website. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. Inspiring words. And, I'm grateful that you particularly made the call to action. We will, obviously, we're going to be working together closely to assure that change occurs. And, everybody, what you've spoken about resonates with everybody on this call. We're grateful that you were able to do it. Now, our next speaker, is a nursing home resident out in California. Nancy Stevens is a active person, even though she's in the facility. That doesn't stop her from doing anything. She is an advocate, knows what she's talking about, and she understands what the needs are, not only from a personal perspective, but how to get things accomplished. Nancy, would you be so kind as to start? And as I had indicated before, 4-minute time limit. Thank you.
Yep, you betcha. I just started my timer. Hi, everyone. Thank you so incredibly much for joining us today. I know it's the holidays. I appreciate you taking out the time to hear all of us and to be together for this incredibly necessary cause. My name's Nancy Stevens. I live in Rancho Mirage, California at Rancho Mirage Health and Rehabilitation Center. I've been here for a little over 3.5 years now. And I'm here because I have something called Behçet's disease, which is a very rare autoimmune condition. And it leaves different body parts attacked at different times. So there's no rhyme or reason. So I never know when I'm going to go down for the count or what body part I'm going to have affected. I've had meningitis, brain swelling, eye swelling, all my internal organs. Right now, it's my skin from scalp to the tip of my toes, which is why I'm not on camera. I'm so sorry about that. But I'm smiling with my whole face at all of you right now. I wanted to make sure that I take some time to include, there are several residents who didn't want to, weren't able to speak, I should say, today. And they asked me to include their wishes as well. And so all of what I do is for the other residents out there. So this is for them. I've got, let's see, at the top of the list is, of course, staffing, right? There's also a side request for gender adequate staffing. If there's, 45 female residents and you only have 2 female nurses, that's going to make some people feel very uncomfortable. I know that there's sexism and ageism and all the other isms, but it's very important for people to be comfortable when they're going through the most, it's not humiliating. It's really not humiliating, but when they're having to give up their humility, I guess is what I'm looking for, to make sure that they have a female staff member who can help and assist, or at least be present if someone needs that comfort and care. And vice versa. I've got 3 men down here at the end of the hallway, and they're on a daily basis, they're griping about not having a male CNA for them. So I also wanted to mention that community councils is also a request, and something that I've personally been working on, sort of behind the scenes, just sort of gauging where my own community is at, on wanting to participate and wanting to be engaged and wanting to be involved with their neighbors' care here in nursing homes. And so I've been engaging. I've had many talks with my county's behavioral health and health departments. And we've got some ideas in place, and hopefully you'll hear about them in the next coming weeks. Things that you can do and to participate with your own counties, to get your counties involved, your communities, your neighborhoods and things like that, because we're all involved in this. We really are. We're involved with caring for the staff. We're involved in caring for the residents. We're involved with caring for each other. And that's my 4 minutes. Just love on each other.
Thank you very much, Nancy. God bless you, Nancy. We're really grateful to hear from you, and that you've been doing and being so clear and specific. That's very helpful for everybody here. And to know that you're talking from personal experience as well as the experience of others, that makes a huge difference to everybody on this call and to all those that we're going to be able to reach with the video from this session. Now, we're going to do another video from Open Doors NYC. Emily, would you be able to start that video?
How you doing? My name is Vincent Pierce. I'm director of Open Doors Reality Poet, Nursing Home Lives Matter founder, and my wish list for 2023 is for all residents to have a seat at the decision-making table, for Nursing Home Lives Matter to become a worldwide known organization that fights for nursing home residents' voices to be heard. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Francine Benjamin. I am the president of the resident council here at Kohler. What I really want to see for 2023 is better quality food for all. I want more nurses with good personality, an open mind. I want more smiles.
Yay!
And just overall, just a place that I want here to be a place we can voice our opinion and be heard.
Hello, my name is Teresa Williams, and Open Doors Reality member. My wish for 2023 is to get good food and to get more staff that are kind and nice to the residents. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Yearwood. I am a reality poet, also manager for the Reality Poets. And my job is to take care of my people, to make sure that they're safe and where they go is accessible. And our job is not, my job actually is not only to do that, but what we want to do in 2023 is to do the same for all of you out there that are living in nursing homes and in the disability community. I have a little a short poem that I wrote that I'd like to leave with you guys.
Oh, good.
before I go. It's called Black and Brown are locked down. Our lives don't matter. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Power that be, in your world I may not matter. But before this is over, you will know that nursing homes lives matter. We have been the forgotten, mistreated, disrespected community for too long.
Yes.
Peace.
Hi, everyone. My name is El Hassan Abdul Fattah. My wish for 2023 is that I wish all nursing homes have a place where they can have activities, as well as a sense of nurses that have the time where they used to care, such as in the 90s, to bring that real feeling of care back and appreciation, and to see that it's not just a job, it's a career, and they love their career, but the activities that I also would like to see in these nursing homes is to help better the minds of people who are there, who have disabilities, or who feel stuck, or who feel down. They could be able to go outside. They could be able to engage in activities and such that could be provided so they can have a better way of life for them. Thank you. And that's my wish for 2023.
I need my help, Walker.
What I'd like to see in the future for nursing homes, that all residents are treated with dignity and respect, and that they would be treated just like they would be anybody's family member. I would like to see that all campuses are on nursing homes would be able to be off campus, so people that can be with the community and be, part of something instead of being locked up in a facility. And I would like to see better care in facilities where it's not rush, and then you're just, that's about it.
How you doing? My name is LeVar Lawrence, and I would like to see for 2023 in the nursing homes is hopefully if they could go back to the way they used to do with the food and cook. They need better cooking, better food here for the patients. They need better nursing, more staff, more things for the patients to do. And that's it.
Every open door is and honoring Nursing Home Lives Matter comes out of the Kohler Rehab Nursing Home, which is on Roosevelt Island here in New York City. They've been very active, and as you can see, they know how to express what the concerns are in very, again, personal ways that make a difference that we all can relate to. It isn't just about the guys at Kohler. It's about everybody here and everyone throughout the country, and every human being in the United States is affected by the issues of nursing homes. So we are really grateful that Kohler and Nursing Home Lives Matter and Vince have been able to put this together for us. We're grateful. Our next person is Jill Gerson. Jill right now is living in Ohio in a skilled nursing facility. Jill has been working with Grey Panthers for decades and has been an active member of Grey Panthers NYC and understands what we're about. And her own personal journey is of importance to everyone here. Jill, go for it. Hold on one second, Jill. Are you muted? Is your...
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. So start from the top.
Okay. I'm Jill Gerson, and I'm two things. I'm a nursing home resident, and I'm a professor of social work. So I come to this with those two perspectives. I'm calling hello. And I'm calling my little presentation, The Joy of Relating. And I'm asking for staff well, I'm asking for staff development. What I see around me is people with their heads down, not looking at each other, not engaging with each other, mostly documenting because of the requirements of reimbursement. Now, what does that do? That takes away from the humanity of both the workers and the residents. People don't have enough time or they're preoccupied to say, hello, how are you? Now, that kind of that kind of question, an open-ended question, allows the other person to respond to you in a very human way. And you can begin a conversation. Asking those kinds of questions, I think would be so great, and teaching that kind of staff development, which we teach in social work curriculums. The other thing it does is it offers dignity to the other person, respect. You're there. You're important to me. I'm asking you, I want to talk to you. And I think that kind of interaction is so important. It's my understanding that most people have gone into the helping professions to help. And the joy of relating to another person is so much a part of that. So if we can begin to incorporate that joy, that asking, how are you? What'd you do today? What are you thinking about now? You look sad. Are you? Just letting the other person know that they are important. And what begins is a wonderful circle of mutual growth, both for the residents and for the staff. I suspect, I don't know, somebody should do a study, but that if there is that kind of mutuality, that kind of dignity, that kind of interest, that the staff will be less likely to leave because they're going to be involved. And they're going to like what they do. Furthermore, I'm sorry about the furthermore, but I think what will happen is the residents will be able to share their lives a little bit with the staff. You know, we here have a gazillion years of knowledge and experience, and we like to talk about it. We really do. I'm a big mouth. So we like to talk to the staff. And that kind of sharing, that kind of interest is partly what the Great Panthers is about, the intergenerational cycle. And it will lead to growth. So that's my main point, the joy of relating. It's the cake. The other piece is what other people have mentioned, which is allowing the residents to join in participating in both policy development and a lot of activity development. It seems to me the activities in a lot of these places are kind of dumbed down. How many days can you play bingo? I don't know, but they can be replaced. I mean, I have a lot of ideas, but those are my ideas. So that allowing us to offer our wisdom, our experience, and our intelligence would really be the thing I look for. And that's kind of it.
Thank you so much, Jill. You know, I also kind of the way that you described yourself, and this is kind of what makes you such an effective person, and that, you know, what I love about you.
I don't know.
What do you think?
My hair.
The hair actually is fabulous. It's fabulous, but also, you know, that you're never afraid to say what's important.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
And
That's a big mouth.
So love that, love that, love that, love you.
Okay.
Now, next, we have Marilyn Washington. we're looking forward to hearing your comments. Marilyn, are you there? Do we have Marilyn? Vanessa, do we have Marilyn? Vanessa, are you there? Perhaps not. Then why don't we just go on to Sharon Wallace. Sharon, Sharon is in New York State in a nursing home in Rockland County. She also has a story to tell and has the understanding and the experience to inform us really well. Sharon, you're on.
Thanks, Jack. As you stated, I am in a nursing home in what's known as Rockland County. I'm about 40 minutes from the city, 2.5 hours at least from Albany. I've been in this nursing home. It's called The Willows at Ramapo, also known as Ramapo Manor. I've been living here for the past 5 years, and 3 years prior to that, I was in and out as short-term patient. The main reason I ended up living here is
It's probably Jenna.
I had issues with a lot of falls and
Yes,
knockouts.
that's Jenna.
Having multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed
Oh.
February 18th of 97.
Hello?
Had up working April 1st of 2009. If I were to tell you my story, I would be more than 4 minutes. I don't want to do that. But what I would like and wish and hope for 2023 is for all of us who are in a nursing home or assisted living, for us to be recognized as a person, and that we're not neglected, because it is happening every single day. If you were to bring something up to a supervisor, there's retribution, no matter what. And the problems that we've had, none of them have gotten cleared up. As retribution, more retribution, it just keeps going over and over, getting worse and worse. I want to do what I can to help others, because I don't want them to go through what I've been going through. It's hard. I know how hard it is to be a caretaker. I was a primary caregiver of my parents for 28 years. The only time they were ever in this place were very short-term periods after hospital stays. But I just want to make, I have gotten abused every possible way you can get abused here and throughout my life, which is why I don't want to have anybody else to go through that. So in an odd way, I will say, use me the best way you can, and I'll be there for you.
Sharon, God bless you for your really heartfelt and important commentary. It's important to see you, and so that other people can see your inner and outer beauty. We're grateful to you.
Jack.
Yes.
Jack, excuse me. This is Vanessa from AG Rose in Atlanta. I had to step away. And so you called on Miss Washington and Mr. Barnes?
I called on, let's, Miss Washington.
Okay.
Hear from you.
She's ready.
Miss Washington.
My name is Marilyn Washington. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been here at AG Rose for about 14 years.
Wow.
I have multiple sclerosis, and I used to fall a lot at home. But since I've been here, I haven't fallen. I've been able to transfer, and I can't walk by myself, but I can hold on to something and walk. I enjoy being here at AG Rose. The only thing I heard somebody else say that they have problems with is the food. And I do have problems with the food, but I heard that they were building some nursing homes with units for people to have more than just one room. And I think that would be a wonderful idea, because when you move into a nursing home and go from a home that you had into one room, it's really kind of pitiful, because you have to try to get rid of everything that you had and just keep the things that are necessary. And I think that the idea of building nursing homes that are apartments would be really, really well.
Now, I have a question for you. What do you've told us about food and more space. You've been a nursing home resident for many years.
Yes.
What do you think, what else needs to be improved and changed?
I think more things for people in nursing homes to do. They do a lot in activities, but I think that if there were more things for people to do, that they wouldn't get, I think people wouldn't go, people in nursing homes, some come for dementia, but I think if you came to a nursing home and you had your sound mind, that you would not go into dementia as fast if there was more things for you to do.
That makes a whole lot of sense. You know, so basically I also hear you saying right now that one of those important things is to make sure that they are challenging activities that aren't just bingo.
Right, right.
So that is very helpful. And is there anything that you want people to do, meaning a call to action?
A call to action? Well, well, before we go to a call to action, I like to say about CNAs. The CNAs that I heard someone say how many we lost when COVID hit. The CNAs that are left, some of the CNAs are here just for a paycheck.
Amen.
Some of the CNAs are here because they enjoy the work. But if we could get more CNAs to interact with patients, that would be a lot. That would be a lot, because like each CNA has like 10 or 12 patients to deal with. And if you need something from a CNA, they say, well, I got to do something. What are you supposed to do if that CNA is not available for you?
You know, thank you. This is very helpful to hear it from the voice of the people. You represent the voice of the people. And God bless, we're so honored that you're going to be able, that you're speaking with us.
Thank you.
Now, our next person is going to be Mr. Barnes, Robert Barnes, also from Atlanta.
Thank you. I love Atlanta, and I love Rose home here. I've been here for quite a while now. I've had my ups and downs. I came here because I had a stroke and I had to come for rehabilitation. I started out as a slight improvement, and that stopped. Now I've been reinstated. Now I'm on my way to walk again. Now about CNAs. I've laid in my bed 50 times, put my light on, somebody comes. Sometimes it'll be a nurse, sometimes it'll be a CNA. They want to know, may I help you? I say, yes. I want some cold water. They say, well, I'll get somebody to bring you some. When they get there, I'll be so thirsty. It'd be a shame and a half. My question is, why does one have to come to tell me somebody else is coming? Why can't that person hand me that cup of water and saying, he or she is on that same thing about medication. I'm there in pain. I want some pain medicine. They will say that the nurse is making her rounds. I don't care whether she's making her rounds or not. You don't have to tell me that. Just tell the nurse I want something for pain. I'm hurting. And once I get some pain, I'm all right. I'm relaxed. I can just take it easy and go to sleep for the rest of the night. This is my problem. One of them anyway. Thank you.
Mr. Barnes, you know how to speak and tell it. You're just awesome. Now, I know that we hadn't asked you, Vanessa, but since you're here, why don't you tell us as what your wish list is? Even though you're not a resident, you see what's going on.
Yes, and thank you, Jack, for allowing me to speak. I think just since the pandemic, definitely a lot has changed, but with staffing overall, yes, we need, the certified nursing assistants. But even within our dining area, I know Ms. Washington mentioned regarding the food. So there are times where they're not able to go to the main dining room, which is for, socialization, because there's not enough staff to serve them. And I've been off for a few days, but I'm hearing this and I'm saying, oh my goodness. So they're having to eat in their rooms, which some like that, but most of them don't. So whatever we can do to really, I guess, and I don't know how it can be done to encourage people, to work, to, come to work and do their job. So that's been a big challenge. And like I said, not just in nursing, but in food services as well. And what Ms. Washington has said regarding also, additional activities. One thing I can say that we've been fortunate here at AG Rose that we have a music therapist on staff. We have a horticultural therapist on staff. So I think that has really helped us in, providing additional activities, for the residents. And while you mentioned, bingo, of course, I know that's something they love. However, we do have to have other activities that are, enriching for the residents.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Also, you kind of are representing staff, and amongst the people, you are one of the thousands and thousands of staff members who are bonded with the residents. It's like this love relationship that has its own challenges. What I'd also like to do now, I believe there are other residents on the Zoom. Mr. Allen, Owen Allen, would you like to say something? Unmute yourself, Mr. Allen. We can't hear you. Mr. Allen, we can't hear you. Okay, let's try again. Can't hear you, Mr. Allen. Emily, are you able to unmute him?
I can't unmute him, so somebody's going to help him.
Yeah, now.
There we go.
Okay, Mr. Allen.
I'm still here.
So yes, Mr. Allen.
Yes. Well, I'm Owen Allen. I'm at AG Roads in Marietta, which is near the other AG Roads. And they went over a bunch of things. We do have quite a few activities here to keep people something going on. But we do bingo, music, and horticulture stuff. And they always got little things that we work on. They do painting, all
And
kinds of different activities.
what is your wish list? What do you want to see improved?
Well, the staffing sometimes. They're just short staffed anywhere, I think, though, right now. That's the biggest deal. They do pretty good, but sometimes they're just short. People, they just don't have enough. They have a few staffing companies to fill in. And it's hard to get some of them really interested in it sometimes.
Staffing is the issue for you.
Yeah, sometimes it is. But they do pretty good, but sometimes they just don't have enough folks to handle it sometimes.
Yes, and the important thing is that the staffing has to be related to your quality of care and quality of life.
Yes, they do. They do. But the regular ones here that are actually employed by AG Roads are really good people. But some of the other ones coming in and out just makes, it's harder to.
What I'd also like to do is I believe that there are other residents on the call. And I'm not sure who's who.
Right.
Jeanette Sullivan, are you a resident?
Yes, I am a resident.
Mr. Allen, I'm asking Jeanette Sullivan, can you unmute Ms. Sullivan?
There you go, you're unmuted. Yes, I am a long-term resident. I live in Mystic, Connecticut. I have been in my nursing home now for almost 14 and a half years. I am 58 currently. My birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 59. I have multiple sclerosis and chose to come to a long-term care facility because my children threatened not to go to college, and that was not optional for me. So.
And what do you want to see?
What do I want to see? Oh, my wish list.
List?
I think we need better staff. I agree. We need better quality food. I think we also need a better reimbursement through each individual state for nursing facilities. Most of all, I think, again, I agree with everything that was said with regards to people being treated as people and individuals with their own needs, having their own care plans and having them followed. We need an overhaul in nursing home facilities. I think we also need for the world at large to view nursing homes differently than the way that they do, and recognize that the people that are in nursing homes age in different ages, ethnicities, desires, needs, wants. They're all pretty much the same. And we need to be recognized that individuals need to have care the way they choose to have their care.
Thank you very much. Very helpful. And I wanted to also go to Levy Ermina. Can you unmute yourself, Levy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at AG Roads at Wesley Woods in Atlanta. We have a good staff, and I'm treated with respect. I'm listened to if I have a comment, or really not a complaint, but a comment about care. I was an occupational therapist and worked in many different nursing homes. 3 years ago, when I needed some post-surgery assistance and went into a nursing home where I had previously worked, the care was so poor that I ended up with a blood clot and in the hospital. Fortunately, someone I knew about AG Roads and had contact with someone on their board, and that's the way I was able to be admitted here. I've made so much progress and probably will be able to soon go into an assisted living facility. Uh, the only complaint I have is with food. I think we need a little bit more input into what that's all about.
Levy, I want to know, what is your wish list for 2023? You said food. What
Food,
else?
yes. Better communication with the dietary department. There's a lot of improvement that can be made, a little bit more individualization perhaps.
Fabulous. You know, this is something that, even though we are not the experts, we're the catalyst. You do hear this issue of food over and over and over again. And that's just one of the important issues that need to be addressed. Trying to identify who, are there other residents of nursing homes that are on this call? I don't even know who's on that would like to speak.
Cindy.
Cindy is raising her hand.
Raising her hand.
Oh, Cindy. Okay, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy Napolitan. I live near the Dallas, Texas area. I live with my daughter. We both have multiple sclerosis. It seems to be a lot of people on this call with MS. We've been in a nursing home for 5 years now. My husband was our caregiver, and he passed away suddenly. We've lived in 2 different facilities. They're sister facilities. They're owned by a corporation. My wish list, I'm sitting here listening to everybody talk, and my wish list is that we not call them nursing homes. We call them something like care centers or care communities. I would like to see more pay for CNAs and nurses, a way to get more young people to go into the medical field. And I mean, they're not going to come back to a job where they're only getting money that they can't afford to live a comfortable life. I mean, let's be honest. They're not making enough money. I would like to see residents taken out into the public. We don't have a bus. We've requested a bus. We have transportation for doctor's appointments, but there's no way for us to get out and go to a movie or go to a play or anything like that. I think that we're part of the community. We should be able to go out into the community. And let's see, what else do I want on my wish list? Oh, my daughter just said that's it. What's on your wish list, Melissa?
Everybody get along.
She wants everybody just to get along.
Well, that is the dream for everyone, everywhere, forever.
Yes.
And so what we would also like to, we're now, we are a little over, but before we close, there's 2 things. I don't remember the name, somebody who's doing the documentary.
Rick Castle.
They
Hi,
wanted
this is
a
Rick.
moment or two they wanted a moment or 2 to speak.
Yep, he's right here.
And then after that, questions.
So this is Rick Mountcastle. I'm a retired federal and state prosecutor. My last 13 years of working, I went after nursing home operators who weren't doing what they were supposed to do. I went after a drug company, Abbott Labs, that was trying to put a certain drug, Depakote, into nursing homes as a chemical restraint. And so after I retired, I ended up getting hooked up with a filmmaker from Los Angeles, Susie Singer Carter, who I'm going to introduce, and hopefully she'll have a couple of minutes to tell you what we're doing. What we're interested in is changing the attitudes of the public about skilled nursing facilities, about the residents in skilled nursing facilities. And in my experience, I find now that the best way to do that, because so many people are into movies and streaming, is to do. We're doing a documentary called No Country for Old People, that talks about the systemic problems, some of which you all have already talked about today in skilled nursing facilities or nursing homes, if you will. And it's intended, and I'm going to let Susie explain it better because she is really passionate about this. It's intended to change attitudes of the public about what's going on, to show them that this is a broken system and to be a call to action. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to a filmmaker, award-winning filmmaker, Susie Singer-Carter. Susie, take it away in a limited time.
Susie, please be brief.
I'll be as, as brief as I can. Rick's filled you in most all, but thank you so much for this platform. I'm an award winning, as you said, filmmaker. I did a film called My Mom and the Girl with Valerie Harper to change the conversation about Alzheimer's, which it has and it continues to. And I know as a filmmaker how powerful storytelling is. And I know from the last meeting that I listened to you, Jack, you mentioned, we can talk amongst each other that are all on the same page, but we need to get the public to listen and to pay attention. And we need to do something that will, I call this film a gut punch, and it's a needed gut punch so that we can get people to actually listen and see what's going on, because it's really going to take a movement of everybody. And when they realize that maybe this documentary is based on my mother, but it's not my mother's story, it's everyone's story.
Right, that is correct. We're looking towards putting together that kind of a broad movement. It's not just education, it's actual change. And there are a lot of people, but we're finding is finally people are interested in the topic. And it's going to have to come not only from the outside, but from the inside, meaning the voices of the people who are on this call.
Correct.
Residents as well as families, but how we have to transform that in order to transform nursing homes. And we're focused primarily, our effort is focused primarily on skilled nursing facilities, but of course, it encompasses all aspects of long-term care. And I wanted to open it up to any questions that people may have, and I don't know. How do we stop punishment to residents who justifiably speak up? I have witnessed it. This is coming from Marjorie. Is there anybody that would like to address that? Actually, I'm going to put Alice Bonner on the spot.
I was just going to say, should I say anything? So now I have. This is a long-standing issue. Every single person on this call, I'm sure, knows about it. So my name is Alice Bonner. I'm a senior advisor for aging, and I worked at CMS in the Division of Nursing Homes for 2 years. And it's one of the most common things that we would hear from nursing home residents and family members or care partners, that they would speak up, except they are worried about retribution. They're worried about punishment. And, this is partly why we have to have effective systems for overseeing quality and processes in nursing homes, meaning systems that can truly differentiate nursing homes that are doing a really good job, that listen to all voices, that respond appropriately, that have the goals and preferences and priorities of all of the nursing home residents front and center, versus nursing homes that are not doing any of those things. So some of it does get back to how surveyors are trained, but more is the day-to-day. What's the culture in the nursing home where you live or work, so that people are really focused on what matters most to residents, not to their families, not to the staff. So at the Moving Forward Coalition, we are very focused on this. We have committees that are just focused on resident-directed care. And, again, we'd love to have anybody here who's not already participating be involved, because we need to hear those questions that you're asking in the chat today. So we're happy to continue the conversation. Thanks for asking, Jack.
Now, I just wanted to, Michelle had also properly noted that this not only is a big issue, but this is also the purpose of the ombudsman, and that the ombudsman have the potential to be very effective, but they are always slapped down, and they don't have the the power or the reach or the resources to advocate on behalf of the residents once things are brought to their attention. This is a shameful aspect of American healthcare. Shameful. Now we have an opportunity. I don't know how we're going to do this. You know, everybody on this call and elsewhere, but let us use this as an opportunity for impetus to change.
This is Marilyn Washington in Atlanta. May I make a comment?
Of course you can, Marilyn.
Okay. I found out since I've been at the nursing home that if you treat the nurses and the CNAs the way that you want to be treated, that they treat you that same way. But if you aren't nice to them, they aren't going to be nice to you. And I've also found out that if someone asked me once before, who were my friends here? And I told them that my friends here were the workers, because I know just about all of the workers here, and just about all of the workers here know who I am. I'm the president of the Residents Council, and I try to make myself known so that if something goes wrong, I can let it be known to who needs to know it.
That's a very important comment from you, Ms. Washington, very important. You know, we're not saying you're pointing out that it's not everybody who is inappropriate or whatever it may be, but we all have to work towards improvement within the facilities, outside of the facility, and within ourselves. So always, for every moment that we're alive, that is always a struggle. We're also getting comments saying that when will the video be available? It will probably be available in a few days, and it will be sent out to everyone. Then we'll also be posting it on our website as available to anyone who uses it. I think that we've gone quite far over our time. However, this is an important concern, and I hope that there's enough meat and enough content that we can share this with policymakers, and that they will be able to listen. And also that we hope that this will spark journalism and other types of activities and research and specifics, because this is just too important to ignore.
Jack, can I just say one thing very quick? It's Rachel Bennett, so brief.
Okay.
Yes, one thing.
Alice Bonner had said in the comments that it's essential to also really focus on resident and family councils. I want to just reiterate that everybody here is not alone, and to ask your community, ask your family, ask your friends, ask them to create a council at your nursing home, and then have them write down and write to the administrators what's going wrong. I have found in my experience advocating for my mother that people do give you better care if you write them what happened, the date, who did it, and how it was not good.
This is Ann Bowden. I'd like to speak.
Yes, Ms. Bowden.
I'm going to keep this very short. I started out at Wesley Woods Towers, and when I took this major fall, I went into the Brennan Center. They didn't really seem to care about the progress I'm trying to make. But when I came into A.G. Rhodes, they really seemed to care. I've been here about, would you say 2 years? It's been here about 2 years. And they really seem to care.
That is what we always want to hear. And we also want to hear from you, Ms. Bowden, what is your wish list? What else needs to be improved, not only for you, and not only for AG Roads, but generally with regard to nursing homes?
Erin is over here saying that she's gonna make it happen, but I would like to get to a Braves game this year.
Okay, AG Roads.
Yeah.
The people who I know there, Vanessa and Deke. Excuse me, the Atlanta Braves have a fan that needs some attention. Are you guys going to take care of that?
We can make it happen.
You better make that happen, Vanessa. It's up to you.
Yes.
And take Miss Washington and all these others who are here. Brave become.
Amazing. Right. Jack, can I chime in for just one quick second?
Yes, and then we're going to be ending.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make sure that any of the residents who are here on this call, if you or if anyone on social media run into any nursing home residents who are about to give up, who are willing to give up because it's too hard to fight, please just encourage them and let them know that they're not alone. Too often, in my own experience, in the 2 years where I was going through retaliation, retribution, and being pushed out, just because I had a complicated condition, people were saying you have to advocate for yourself. Here's what the laws are. Here's what the citations are. And they would give you the information to advocate for yourself. But the only thing that worked for me was to have basically to drop names and to say I have this person, that person, somebody on the board of directors for the biggest hospital here in this area, and certain people from different advocacy groups who actually did get on the horn and want to be put or CC'd on emails, who are willing to do that. So it shouldn't be about who you know for you to get the best care, but unfortunately that's what it is. And if it's going to give somebody hope to keep going and to keep fighting and to keep advocating for themselves, please back them.
All right, thank you so much. And really grateful for everybody on this call. Grateful for everybody who's organized this particular and all the other Transformation Tuesdays. Grateful for the opportunity to be the catalyst for change. Grateful to everybody, particularly Michelle, who's been the intellectual and organizational and practical star for what we've been doing here. And I just want to say thank you so much for attending this really important session. That's it from this end of the Woe Begone.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Save the chat. Save the chat. Save the chat. Chat. Teach them how to save the chat.
Yep, we'll save it.
Save the chat.
Yep.
Yes,
we'll have it saved.
Save the chat.
Yep.
I hope
All right,
you all
guys. Bye-bye.
New Year.
Bye.
Bye.
So, let's see.